My name is Pat Quigg, and I am a member of First Presbyterian Church in Philadelphia. Was married here in 1960, and we joined the church in about 1962. We moved to the suburbs after we were married and attended a couple of Presbyterian churches, which were actually within walking distance of our home, but we kept returning to 21st and Walnut Streets to First Presbyterian Church in Philadelphia because we liked the preaching, we loved the music, and we liked the community outreach programs that went on here. And that is why we have stayed. And we were married here 50 years ago, this past December, and we're still here, and we're still together.
I'm married to this lovely lady, and as Pat has said, we have been members of this church for almost 50 years. We're first married here, and the reason I started to come initially, even before we were married, was because a gentleman was a member of this church for whom I worked and with whom I was closely associated. And I admired this man so much, I thought that if he found something special at this church, that maybe I could too.
I think we should preserve First Presbyterian Church because if we weren't here, I would miss the friends here, and I would like to be able to come back and visit and explore it someday.
So what makes the Capital Campaign so crucial to our ministries is, at least for me as a minister of Word and Sacrament, ministry, outreach, whatever mission you want to call it, begins here in this place, in this sanctuary, when we as the body of Christ gather around the Lord's Word every Sunday. We communicate with God through prayer. We hear the Word proclaimed. We actually enact the Word at the Lord's table and at the baptismal font. And God's Spirit speaks to us and calls us to serve, not just ourselves and not just to enjoy the beauty of this building for ourselves, but to take the Word out into the world. The open door is a favorite symbol in this congregation. It has been for many years, that we have an open door for anyone who would love the Lord and want to worship God.
I want to preserve this church because I've had so many great experiences here, and I want future generations to share the exact same experiences I've had.
Hello, I'm John Rogers. I've been a member here at First Pres since 1980, and I thought I would give you a little background on how we've gotten to where we are today. 5 years ago, we put together we decided to study the building and see how it could be improved to better meet the requirements of the congregation and the surrounding community. We first surveyed the congregation to get an idea of what they felt was the most important things that needed to be worked on. Building on that, we hired an architect to help us conceptualize those ideas and put them into better plans and to get pricing. While we were doing that, we discovered an old report on the exterior of the building, and we thought it would be prudent to update that report to get a fresh idea of what the exterior looked like. For example, right above me is some powdering that we see every day or every Sunday as we come into church, and that's a result of combination of roof leaks and deteriorating.
I think we should preserve First because I think it's old and a little dusty, and I think it should be new and clean.
This, as you may or may not know, is a very historical and distinguished church. It was founded in 1698, just 16 years after William Penn came to this colony. It has had a long and distinguished career. Two of the signers of the Declaration of Independence and of the Constitution of the United States were members here. and Benjamin Franklin and John Adams also were rather frequent attenders. And so while the history and distinction of the church are important, it is undoubtedly more important as to the mission that has been carried on by this church for all these 300 years.
Hi, I'm Dave Hudding. I'm one of the co-chairs of First Church's Capital Campaign. The purposes of this campaign ultimately is for us to continue our ministry here at the corners of 21st and Walnut Street. We're excited about this campaign, and it's a challenging campaign. We need to raise about $1 million. That's our goal, $1 million, to improve our facilities and restore the exterior and portions of the interior of the building. This is important for us to be able to continue our witness here at 21st and Walnut. Ways that you can help are mainly pledging. Pledging is what will make us able to know how much money we're going to bring in so that we can carry out the projects and plan properly for them. Ways that you can carry out your pledge are through cash gifts, but also transfers of marketable securities such as stocks or bonds, and even collectibles, antiques, artwork, coin collections, even a baseball card collection. These are the ways that we can contribute to the Capital Campaign and make it a success for First Church.
In order to access the building through a flat surface, the person in a wheelchair or a mother pushing a stroller with a baby in it has to go all the way around to the back of the building and ring the bell and hope somebody lets her in.
We have needed a handicapped accessible entrance that is an inviting, attractive, and useful and easy for members and visitors for a very long time. We think we may have finally found an option that will give us such a handicapped accessible entrance. It means at Chancellor Street here, we will cover what has been this car slip for decades. We come right up here. These doors, these gates here will disappear. This will be covered. It will be all-weather hallway, and we will turn left here, right into what today is the men's restroom, and we will enter the church building formally right at this point.
We're undertaking a major project here at First Church, an attempt to renovate and restore our historic building as it should be. Now, even though the building is not the church is the people, and we're the church with or without this building, but still, this building is a treasure that has been entrusted to us by those who first built this edifice now 140 years ago, and who have now passed that along to us. And it is a true architectural marvel. It's a structure that enriches our life here as a church. It enriches our worship. It enriches our efforts to do ministry here in this place. And it enriches this entire community, because it is a true capstone of this area, an area that would be much diminished without this building in all its glory.
Help us
Preserve First.
Preserve First.
Preserve First.
Help us preserve first for our